Hey guys, welcome back to Bookstream for Tweens with the Fulton County Library System. My name is Liane and I'm a librarian at the Milton Library. And welcome to our YouTube channel. We are excited to be celebrating Native American Heritage Month. Since we are in the month of November now officially, we have a really cool book for you today that I'm very excited about. I read it a few months ago and loved it. It is called Race to the Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. And it is a super wonderful adventure, sci-fi fantasy type book. And it is from the Rick Riordan Presents line of books, which is cool. So you will have a lot of that magic and mythology. But the wonderful thing about this book is the mythology that comes into play is from the Navajo tradition. So our main character and her family are all Navajo. Our main character, she gets thrown into this world of magic and monsters, and turns out that she has to be the hero. And she's coming to grips with that. And there's some other stuff going on in her life that she's, dealing with too. She lost her mother when she was young. So it's just been her and her dad and her little brother. So she's been dealing with some family stuff, some difficult times like that. But now she's also been thrown into this world of monsters and craziness. But the imagery in this book is beautiful. There's lots of talk about different areas. And because this book focuses on the Dene people, the Navajo people, it's set in New Mexico. And we hear a lot of the beautiful landscape and just really, really cool, interesting mythology in this book. I love the cover. Birds are like one of my favorite things, and you can see that our protagonist, she's on top of a giant like raven or crow, and she's got some cool like bow and arrow. And just everything about this cover is wonderful. And throughout the book, you can just imagine all these wonderful creatures. Some are scary, some are not scary, but you can just imagine all of those cool creatures and just kind of go get lost in this world. So I highly recommend this book, Race to the Sun. I'm going to read the very first chapter, and we will see how that goes. Race to the Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. And chapter 1 is I Can See Monsters. My name is Nijane Begay, and I can see monsters. In fact, I'm looking at one right now. The monster is a pale man with thin blonde hair, slightly bulging eyes, and unusually red lips. He's tall and skinny, and he has on a black suit and tie. Monsters wear human skin more often than fairy tales would lead you to think. Scales and horns and claws are strictly for beginners, trust me. I'm an expert on these things. This monster is sitting in the second row of the packed bleachers of my 7th grade co-ed basketball game, looking completely normal. Normal, except for the fact that he's wearing a suit when everyone else is wearing a t-shirt that says Go Isotopes or Go Beavers, depending on which team they're rooting for. Normal, except there's a circle of empty space around him despite the gym being filled to capacity, like nobody wants to get close to him. Maybe they feel something's creepy about him too, but they aren't sure what it is. I watch as a lady in a bright purple tracksuit moves in front of him, waving a red and black pom-pom dangerously close to his face. Pretty sure if she keeps that up, she's a goner. Monsters don't take kindly to people invading their personal space. Okay, that I made up. I don't actually know how monsters feel about personal space or whether they eat ladies in purple tracksuits, and I'm not so much as an expert as a reluctant amateur. I mean, I've only been able to see monsters for a few months. It started as a strange feeling while watching a lady massaging the avocados at the farmer's market. And there was a definite bad vibe from the old dude with the scaly feet and Jesus sandals at the Taco Bell. And just like in those instances, every instinct I have is shouting at me, this guy in the bleachers is not normal. Tiny hairs on the back of my neck rise. A chill, like the time my little brother Mac dumped a snowball down my shirt, shudders down my spine. Out of habit, I touch the turquoise pendant I have taped to my chest, underneath my shirt. I'm not supposed to wear it during basketball games, but knowing it's there helps me feel brave. Déjeuner! The way the school year has been going, trying to be brave has become almost a full-time thing. When I left my big public school and transferred to ICCS, short for Intertribal Community Charter School, and pronounced ICS, I really thought things would change for me. And by change, I mean I'd have a lot of friends and be popular. After all, every student at ICS is Native American just like me. But I've been at ICS for 2 years and nothing is different. I'm still not popular and I'm definitely not cool. I'm just Déjeuner begay. Coach, I whip my head around because of course I'm not listening. Hello, monster. She is right there in my face. So close, in fact, that drops of spittle fly out of her mouth and hit my cheek every time she shouts my name. I surreptitiously wipe off the spit, trying not to look completely grossed out, even though it's pretty gross. Coach is no monster, but she has issues with personal space too. She's always in mine. She's also a little short for basketball, but no one would ever tell her that, because she makes up for being height challenged by being really loud. Coach is Hopi, so it's not her fault she's so short. Besides, she's scary in other ways. I'm not worried she will eat my eyeballs for hors d'oeuvres or anything. Eyeball hors d'oeuvres are very popular with monsters, I read somewhere. FYI. Coach snaps her fingers inches from my nose. Are you even listening? I nod. Total lie. Besides, it's timeout. Nobody listens during timeout. There's 5 seconds left in the game, she yells. Your focus should be on me. She points to herself with 2 fingers and your teammates. She gestures at the group of 7th grade boys and girls now huddling around me. We need you to pay attention. Sure thing, Coach. I chirp obediently, but honestly, all I can think about now are eyeballs stacked like meatballs on a toothpick for easy snacking. Coach is talking again. Okay, Davery is going to pass the ball in. Who wants to take the last shot? I'll do it, I say, raising my hand. The rest of my team groans in disbelief. Put your hand down, Déjeuner, Coach snaps. You're standing right beside me. Oh, right, I lower it. But I can take the last shot. Coach looks at me. The whole team looks at me. I stand a little straighter to seem extra tall. I, in fact, am not height challenged. I have a good 1.5 inches on Coach. I'll take the last shot, I report firmly. Are you sure, Déjeuner? Davery whispers. He's my best friend. Okay, my only friend, and always has my back, but right now he looks a little worried. His brown eyes are narrowed in concern behind his glasses, and his lips pressed together thoughtfully. He runs a nervous hand over his short, cropped, curly hair. Easy as pie, I insist. You pass the ball to me, I'll be at the top of the key, and swish, isotopes win. I bust out my most confident smile. Davery just crinkles his brow. Does anyone else want to take the last shot? Coach asks, looking pointedly at the rest of the team. Everyone looks down or away or anywhere else but at Coach, because no one wants that kind of pressure. Anyone? She asks again, desperate. I clear my throat loudly. Okay, Coach says resigned. Davery passes the ball to Déjeuner. Déjeuner, you take the shot. Be ready. Movement in the bleachers catches my eye. It's the monster. I watch as he makes his way past the other spectators. He's pushy, knocking into people's knees without even saying, excuse me. Rude. But then, monsters aren't known for their good manners. Some folks give him a dirty look as he shoves his way through, but most just move aside, rub their arms like they're cold, and mutter unhappily to the person next to them. I lose sight of him as the crowd rises to their feet. I twist my neck this way and that, straining to see where he disappeared to in the midst of screaming fans. But he's gone, lost in a sea of black and red. Coach claps as the buzzer sounds, signaling the end of timeout. Everyone on the team extends an arm into the middle of the circle, touches hands, and yells, isotopes. A rallying cry for what must be the worst mascot in the history of mascots, except maybe for this one team I heard of called the Fighting Pickles. But really, who even knows what an isotope is? Davery once tried to explain it to me, something to do with the history of nuclear technology and atomic bombs in New Mexico, blah, blah. But I fell asleep halfway through. Coach is yelling. We hurry to take our spots. Davery is at midcourt with the ball in his hands. I run at the top of the key and get ready for the inbound pass. I try to visualize the winning shot I'm about to make, like Coach tells us to. I can see it all, the crowd chanting my name, my teammates hoisting me on their shoulders and leading me around the gym in victory. Just like a champion in a sports movie, everyone will know me. I'll be a superstar. Fame, glory. I take another quick look at the crowd, double checking for the monster in the suit. Nothing. No, wait, there he is, bottom row, courtside, 20 feet away. His eyes are red and he's staring right at me. 4 things happen all at once. 1, I scream. 2, the ref blows the whistle. 3, Davery shouts my name. 4, and I turn just in time for the basketball to hit me smack right between the eyes. Okay, so that was the first chapter of Race to the Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. So you guys can see that our main character is super likable. I totally get her. Early on, I think you guys can identify with some of the things she's dealing with. She has a little bit of trouble focusing on things, and I think that's something that a lot of us struggle with from time to time. So I hope you guys liked this excerpt that I read. Please check out this book. Go to fulcolibrary.org. You can place a hold on the physical book. You can pick it up with curbside service. Also check Libby by Overdrive, Hoopla, and eReads Kids, because we have a lot of speculative fiction and sci-fi fantasy for you. So you go ahead and check that out. And we will see you in tomorrow's video with... where we will discuss the author Rebecca Roanhorse a little bit more. And if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you're not, because we put videos out 3 times a week for this series that we're working on, and we have lots of other videos that we come out with too. So there's always something going on at the library that you guys can tune into. So we will see you tomorrow to talk about Rebecca Roanhorse. Bye.